Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you believe that Colorado can win the Big 12 championship? Prefacing this by saying Deion Sanders had his campus media day event at Colorado, I think strategically planned for this night, for which they knew that Shedeur was going to be the starter. And he got to talk a little bit about how the team got to see LaJohntay West show out on Thursday night. Talk a little bit about what he expects his team to do. And if you are watching this live, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to talk a little bit to the chat a little bit later on. We'll take a few questions there because I do like that aspect of it. And I have been promising live shows like this one, and we will begin to start doing those with some frequency this beginning the first of many. You'll get to know this show as the one that comes on after a big game, after a big event on Saturday night for sure. We'll see about Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll fill it out from there. But I want to have this live atmosphere. We're going to have rotating producers on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like watching Colorado Buffaloes football, I hope. What I found curious about what Shedeur Sanders was doing today and what Deion Sanders is doing today, and the thing that I've been harping on the Sanders about for, it feels like years. What happens if you get a run game? What happens if you get a credible rushing attack? Okay. So today, the first TD that Shedeur Sanders ever throws, Caden Davis, by the way, is the answer to that question, is on a play action bootleg. And he's just waiting for my man's to fade into that window so he can launch it in there, makes a catch right before the receiver reaches the out of bounds. And that is because they had a run game that you had to respect. Full stop. Last year, Colorado didn't have anything like a run game that you had to respect. They were dead last in rushing yards per game, something like 65 rush yards per game. More importantly, or more fascinating to me, was when they averaged 1 yard or more per carry in a game, they won last year. That was how paltry and bad the rushing attack was. So what does Prime do? He brings in a Hall of Famer in college and in the NFL in Marshall Faulk to try to recruit and develop their running back room. I hope that we get to see Micah Welch, Dallin Hayden, others step up and have big years. And that seems to be the expectation that Prime has for this program in 2025. He said, look, I don't know how we're going to win or how it's going to be at the end of games. It might be a Hail Mary, but it's going to be a hell of a hard game. We're going to be physical. We want to run the football, and that's going to be new. It's going to be new for a program that's been predicated on the arm of Shedeur Sanders. If he didn't throw the ball, they didn't move the ball. If he didn't throw the ball, they didn't score. Now you have Caden Salter and Juju Lewis, two predominantly dual threat quarterbacks that you can do a lot with. Now, I think Caden Salter's going to get that week 1 start. He is the veteran, and he provides you the opportunity to throw the ball anywhere you want around the yard and to run with the football. He is much faster than Shedeur Sanders. He's much faster than what they're used to having at quarterback. Now, how does Pat Shurmur integrate Caden Salter's skill set will be interesting. And that's what a good offensive coordinator is going to do for both Juju and Caden. What do you do well? And how many times can I give you an opportunity to only play to your strengths? I have a hard time thinking that some version of a zone read and RPO approach is going to be at the forefront of what Caden Salter's asked to do, because he does have such good eyes, because he can fool linebackers, because he can diagnose a closing end or a standing up end, and he can make a play with the football when the play breaks down. The kind of plays that Shedeur was trying to make tonight are the kind of plays that Caden Salter can. When he's running away from you, he's actually running away from you. He is that fast. Juju is a great point guard on the football field. He's going to diagnose the offense. He's going to do a lot of his pre-snap reads, and then he's going to see who does what and how quickly he can get the ball out of his hands. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stand back there, take a 5-7 step drop and throw it deep. It means that you're going to try to get your receivers in positions to make a lot of plays after the catch, to do damage after the catch. Slants, some comebacks, some digs, mesh concepts, drags. These are the kind of things that I think the passing attack for both Caden and Juju could work. Sometimes this is called quick game, but if you have a playbook that is built like Shermer's, you got a lot of this in it. If you got a playbook that's built like Gus Malzahn, probably not. Gus Malzahn is trying to go for broke with most of his passing concepts. I think when they get away from that, they're not that good. I really enjoyed how Kevin Stefanski allowed Shedeur Sanders continue to play and find the rhythm, because you could hear it in the broadcast. They kept expecting him to get the hook, right? After the first quarter, after the second quarter, and then he's back in the third quarter and going, oh, they really are trying to give him every opportunity to put good tape on film. And put film on tape. Yeah, good film on tape. You're also saying and telegraphing, we expect this guy to be around if we're giving him this many snaps. And he does one of those things that I think he gets from Prime, right? And I think this is what Caden Salter and Juju Lewis could pick up from Shedeur, if nothing else. The ability to lead your team and be authentic is always going to be important in football. I think what Prime tries to do with these players, especially those that, haven't played with his sons, is probably instill upon them. One of the things that you can take control of is how you walk around in the world. Do you have integrity? And then do you outwork anybody else? The athleticism and the talent will show up, but you can't teach people to be on time. You can't teach people how to talk humbly about their accolades. That's something you got to have when you walk in the door. I'm going to be really focused on what is the body language of Colorado's sideline this year when they're not in a good spot. Even last year, I'm thinking about the Nebraska game in particular here. You got to see Travis Hunter lose his cool. You saw Shedeur Sanders was not having a good time. He threw that pick six. And you saw Prime was visibly upset about what his defense was allowing Dylan Raiola to get away with. I think that's going to be turned up a notch. I think you're going to see him bear down a little bit more. And now that you've got two coordinators that have been together for at least a year, and you got Warren Sapp on your defensive line, you got Marshall Faulk in your backfield, you got a great opportunity here to go be good in a league where nobody is expected to go win right away. I mean, I should say nobody's expected to be better than everyone else right away. Arizona State, obviously, you're going to have the leg up. They're the defending Big 12 champs, and they got their two best playmakers coming back on offense. Quarterback Sam Leavitt, wide receiver Jordan Dyson. But outside of Tyson and Leavitt, you can look around the league and go, Rocco Beck and Iowa State look pretty good. Jalen Daniels in Kansas look pretty good. Avery Johnson in Kansas State don't really play a game where they shouldn't be favored. And then there's Caden Salter, Juju Lewis, and Colorado. You keep Connor Wigman is down at Houston. Rich Rod, we don't know what he's going to do at West Virginia, but we expect it to be good. All up and down the Big 12, you're going to see something like parity. And if it's about a play here and a play there, I think a more physical Colorado team is going to be able to absolutely take advantage of that and not just win by, say, throwing deep a couple of times and then holding on, but win by grinding out the clock. I think that's the next phase for Colorado. We know you can score. We know you can put up points. Can you take a double, 2-digit, 10-point lead or better, double-digit score or better, and sit on it? Can you just run it out? That will be the measure of their physicality for me when we get to the third and fourth quarter. Offensive line ought to be better. We'll find out. Defensive line might take some time to lay off some things over there. I think that the McKinneys are going to make up for a lot of the mistakes that might be made by the linebacking crew. But I'm bullish on this Colorado team, and I'm bullish on what I think they can still accomplish. They have the same goal that many do. Let's make the 12-team playoff and see where we're at. If that's where you're at, then we're on the same page. Going to take a short break, and then I'm going to take on a couple of questions from the chat. So stick around if you've been patient enough to listen to me talk about Colorado once again.